All right. Greetings, family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing this beautiful night? Excuse me. Already. Okay. I'm going to have to get ready to get you set already. What we need to do for you. We need to move you over here to Do Not Disturb. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Had to put down Do Not Disturb real quick because I'm getting these blings coming in. But other than that, greetings everyone. How is everyone doing on this beautiful night after Monday before we go into quote unquote Tuesday? My wife made some delicious pinto beans. It was very good and tasty. We ate that tonight. So, but we get ready to get started. This is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. And this is Monday night. We call Monday night. This is the night after Monday. Greetings, G1. How you doing? Glad you can make it, bro. We doing real good over here, bro. As I was just sharing, I'm just starting off everything, just letting everybody know that this is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. This is Monday night, what we call Monday night. It's actually night after Monday or the night between Monday and Tuesday. And yesterday, or the day was October 6th, 2025. We're in the night now, really which is actually the seventh now, truthfully, the seventh night before we're going to the seventh day. But other than that, just wanted to be here, share some information. Last week we went through before I get started, we got to do the prayer. We got to start with the prayer, then we go into whatever the Creator brings for us tonight. So, blessed be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father of 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and planning to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help lead and guide others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us, helping us in every way, allowing us to flourish in your knowledge and your word, allowing us to know your word, know your spirit, know your ruach, and that we may indulge, and also let us retain the knowledge that is given, that you give through, and that you share with us through your vessel, through us as a people, and the word that you give. We ask you to help us in every way, put your arm of protection around us at all times, that we can be safe and sound from all hurt, harm, and danger. We ask you to forgive us of the sins and the transgressions we've done against you, your word, and your law, and your ruach. We ask you to forgive us, our ancestors, and our forefathers for the things we have done against you, because we transgressed against you, and you've also transgressed against us. We ask you to forgive us and also lift the spirit of deep sleep from us and allow us to awaken to your great light. Help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Praise you, Almighty. All right. Say again, son. He's talking a lot, y'all. So other than that, what's going on? What's going on? My man G1 just popped in a few moments ago before we got started up. Don't see anybody else seeing on the line as of yet. And last week we did grab bag. Grab bag, I talked about stuff across the board. Mainly last week I shared information on the moon, my portion and my understanding when it comes to the moons. Yom and what day is compared with Yom is. Yom is a specific point in time, and day is a particular whatever that day is, but Yom is a specific point in time. We also went through bondage as well, which the word bondage is in Deuteronomy 28, 28, 15 through 68. So in those what we shared last week are the prophecies of things happening today. So I was saying that I might go through grab bags, just every once in a while, just to see grab stuff out that people may have a thought on or bringing up, or scriptures and stuff that we may not even know about this right here in the scriptures or in the Bible, that is of the law or of prophecy or of history, So I don't have nothing exactly to talk about directly tonight. Is there anything you wanted to ask about, anything about this happening today that may be in the scriptures or maybe prophecy that we may need, that we may want to know about or understand, G1 or baby? Joanne, my baby's sleepy. Yeah, that's how I be feeling the time. You need going on in there to go to bed. Go in there and lay down.
You already know what's going to happen after that.
Yeah, but you are tired. Go ahead and get your rest. She got off work and had no rest. We went up and it was a family matter went on today. We had to go by the hospital, so family matter, emergency situation happened today, so I had to drop her off at the hospital and wait around for a little bit. And, other things happen, so. We go through these things through its day and time, and we in this day and time. Excuse me. We're in the day of the separation, y'all. The day of separation is upon us, and it's happening, and people don't even know or realize it. So by a minute, I guess we could be another grab bag tonight. Is there anything you wanted to share or talk about? Not about the life situation, we'll say that for next week. But is anything you wanted to talk about that may be going on today, G1, or just share that we may need to bring to the forefront of the people? Just asking.
Yeah, bro. I can't really pinpoint right now, man. But definitely, man. I'm having one of them type of days again, son. It's like things is not. I don't know, man. I don't really want to talk about it like that, but yeah, man. It's some things I'm sure you could address, man. I'm glad. It's funny, like you said, you asked me this. You did this last time when I was trying to film a certain type of way. You asked me, is it something I want to talk about? But I can't really put my finger on it right now. It's just a certain.
It's a certain vibe that's going on. I'm gonna send you.
I don't know, like you get ready to say. I think it's the full moon. You know what I'm saying?
It is. It's a super moon. I was just about to say. I'm gonna send you this eye of wisdom, and he was speaking on that yesterday and today. He was speaking on certain.
Tomorrow, right? It's actually tomorrow.
It's actually now. The super moon is going on right now.
Because they said the 7th. I thought it was the 7th. But,
actually, tonight, what they say the 7th, in the calendar that I have, it said the 6th. But if you look at it right now, if you go outside now, remember the night is before the day. So if this is the 7th night, because at midnight they say it's the 7th, right?
right.
That's at midnight. But the 7th, according to the cycle of both of them together, the 7th is happening right now. This is the night before the day, because midnight they say, huh?
So yeah, I guess you could just go in on I don't know, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? The motion, the energy of it.
Matter of fact, I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna put that post, the Eye of Wisdom. I'm gonna put that post about the supermoon and the things that's spoken of. I'm gonna put that in the post tonight. The post for tomorrow, or once I'm done, I'm gonna put that in the post. But yeah, bro, it's a lot of things happening now, and there's a lot of things going on, and it's things that some of us are aware of, some of us are not. But during the full moon, we have a lot of stuff going on anyway. A lot of energy be chaotic most of the time around the time of the full moon. And this is a full super moon from what it says, so, but what I like to share is this. A lot of people don't realize the sun, the moon, and the stars are for signs, seasons, days, and years. People don't even, there's so many people who do not understand the wording behind what's being said. When the Creator said these are for signs, The full moon is a sign. Just like you said, you feel like some type of energy is going on today. And a lot of times around the full moon, that happens. What happened when the werewolves are really supposed to get started? At the full moon, right? So the full moon has a lot to do with I ain't gonna say disruptive energy, but a lot to do with a lot of energy that's going kind of chaotic. Because a lot of times when it's full moon, you get fights. You hear a lot of all kind of things happening around that time. So and that's around the time of the full moon. And if a lot of people pay attention, they'll see and notice that. And this is only a sign, because when the full moon, these are signs and times of things that's happening around these times. So when the Creator said that these are the lesser light for the light night and the greater light for the day, these should be for signs, seasons, days, and years. People just, this is what I mean by people just read over stuff, and they just reading, they don't have an understanding of what they're reading because they don't look into what's being said. They just reading what they think it says. And that's the problem of the day. A lot of people just read across stuff and they don't study as they're reading. They don't go back and study. Like when we do on the Sabbath, even though we just got done with the book of 1 Samuel, this week, shall I say, this Sabbath, we're going to be starting the second book of Samuel. But the point is, when we're reading, we go back and find out, okay, this was said here and this was said back here. This is the reason why we show the cause and effect of certain purposes in the scriptures. So that same thing goes along with everything that's going on today. You feel better? Yeah, she tired. Yeah, so that's what's going on today. A lot of people don't know. It's a lot of signs that's going on, and people don't even realize the signs in the times that's going on. So this supermoon is still a sign of the Creator. The blood moon is a sign of the Creator. When we have eclipses, these are signs of the Creator. But some people, they worship this stuff, and this is what we're not supposed to do. We're supposed to study this stuff, understand it for what it is, and when the time comes around, we're like, okay, this usually happens. Just like when people, just like the farmers. The farmers, they know what time to plant, they know what time to harvest. And these are different times in the season that we do these certain things because we're supposed to learn from the atmosphere, from the universe, from nature. Nature teaches us. No different than we go to school and learn these books and not just the Bible, but books and everything else. All this other stuff of nature is for us to learn, to study. And as we learn and study, this is how we know when winter coming, when it's going to rain. We can smell the water in the air, even though we got water all around. But sometimes you can see all kinds of stuff that's happening, and you can just tell because you can see and understand the signs. But a lot of people don't understand that because they don't do the study behind it. Today's time, this Christian world, Christian, Roman. Huh? Say it again. Say it again, bro. Yeah, I couldn't hear that. Yeah, this speaker.
My bad. I'm outside. I forgot I was on mute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that this Christian Roman world empire got everybody thinking that everything is the devil. This the devil, that the devil, this and that, and that's the devil. Everything is of the devil nowadays. You know, nobody can seek knowledge and things of what's happening around us because the Christian empire, which is the Roman Empire, has made everything of Satan. And that's Satan. The Roman Empire is the satanic system of the world. The people don't know it because they've been engulfed and indoctrinated. Now, let me give you some examples. All this time, now, oh man, I kind of heard something today. One of my cousins, she's the manager over a store, which is a Rainbow store. She kind of brought to my attention today. She said, as of October 1st, I think Donald Trump said that we don't have to have a license in order to travel or drive, as she told me. I said, really? Said, yeah, I think a couple people had mentioned that. And I said, you know, that's the Constitution, don't you? See, Trump is trying to bring the Constitution back. He said, if this was fact, that you don't need a license to travel or drive, which is really the real Constitution, he's bringing the Constitution back. But you got the ones in error, the ones that's trying to keep everybody docile and ignorant. They try to say you have to have a license, which a license is a privilege. It's a permit, should I say? Not a privilege. It's a permit. That means they want you to have permission to travel, even though it's our right to travel. And this is what I'm saying. A lot of stuff people don't look up because they just running with the flow. They're running with the masses. And what does let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it's Matthew 5. It's in Matthew. Now, like I tell people, it is I'm looking at 5, but I don't know this is what I'm talking about. The first part, that's 4. I'm talking about, I don't know if it's 5 or it could be, I think it's 7, chapter 7. When it says, straight gate. Yeah, go right there. 7 and 13. 13 and 14. When it says, it says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Just saying that right there. Look at the Democrats. I'm not gonna say them. I'm not part of anything, but I'm just looking at it for what it is. The Democrats are trying to promote just say it, the LGBTQ agenda, transgenderism, transism. This is what they were promoting. Kabbalah, this is what they're promoting. That everything according to that, for that genre to have its way. But what did Trump do? Is only 2 races, or not 2 races. It's only 2 genders, male and female. That's what Trump said. That's nature. That's law. This other stuff, I identify as this and I identify as that. That's not the creator. That's not nature. It's not natural. People are being separated right now and they don't even realize it. They're separating themselves. And they're causing other people to fall right along to it. But what does it say right here? The straight gate again. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be which go therein. And to me, all the Democrats, everybody following them is heading that way. And I'm saying Democrats because of what the agenda is. Not trying to say I'm picking sides, because I have no side. I'm going by what I see. I'm a watchman. I sit back and watch and I see and I'm getting an understanding of what's going on. Trump is bringing back the Constitution. If that is true, because I looked at some of it, media is going to try to twist it so it don't be out there so that people don't get it. But I believe it's already, I don't have to believe, I know it's a fact. So if you don't need no license to travel, which I beat the last cases on not the license situation, but a license plate and all that other situation because it's not of the Constitution. They stripped the world, or they stripped the United States of the Constitution. They stripped them. And the people don't even know it, and they love it that way. They don't even know that they've been fooled. And they're not even trying to find out the things that Trump is doing, if they're right or wrong, because they're not going to find out. I'm not saying I'm for it or against it. I'm going for what's right and what's there. I'm telling you what's facts. I'm just giving you the difference of the facts. That's it. One guy I was talking to last Thursday, matter of fact. I hit 14 in a minute. Last Thursday, me and this brother talking. I went to go make a sale for some alkaline water and teas. His brother said, so what do you think about Trump? This brother asked me, so what do you think about Trump bringing in the guards and stuff now into Chicago. He did it in D.C., and he's talking about doing it in Chicago. What do you think about that? I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, prophecy is being fulfilled. Prophecy? What you mean by prophecy being? I said, prophecy is being fulfilled. It has to be cleansed up. It's too late for prophecy. How can I know what's going to happen if I can see it and then it's happening already? I said, that's what prophecy is, bro. Prophecy is something in order that was told in order to come to pass. Prophecy is prophesied before it becomes history. You got a lot of people who out here don't even understand what prophecy is. A lot of people speak on things. I'm not saying this, brother, but I'm just saying it's been other conversations. Even people teaching, saying, oh, you know what prophecy is? If I say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to go drive the car down this net. And then I get up and I go drive the car down the corner. That's a prophecy. I just called it a prophecy. I'm like, these people just, they lost. Excuse me, and have no understanding. A lot of people are deceived by their own understanding. Prophecy is something that was written that was long ago, that was said that was going to happen, and it's going to end up coming to pass. I mean, it was going to come, it's going to happen, it's going to pass, and then you're going to look back and say, that was said. This was prophesied. But a lot of people don't even get that. So, again, like, oh, let me finish that story. That brother said, so yeah, well, let me finish this up real quick, then I'm going to go back to that story. It says, 13 and 14, Matthew chapter 7, 13 and 14. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be which go thereat. I mean, many gonna go that way. And they going that way today and they came to see it. 14, but straight is the gate and narrow is the way. Straight and narrow is the way which leadeth to life, and few there be shall find it. The road to life is the commandments and the law. Because the commandments is the creator, and the law, which is the commandments, is the creator. They are the creator. Law, land, air, and water. We're made of that, and the laws that we're supposed to go by to actually keep and do to honor and respect each other. Treat another person as you want to be treated. That's the law. Honor the creator, and everybody says, well, we ain't under 10 no more, we're under 2. Misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. There ain't no 10, just 2. Honor God with all the heart and all thy soul, and honor your brother as yourself. Honor thy neighbor, or however it goes. I said that's under. He said that hangs all the 10. The 10 is under that. Honor the Father is the first 3 commandments. Matter of fact, the first 4. The first 4 commandments is honor. You don't have no other God before me, which a lot of people do. Don't make any graven image or any likeness of anything in heaven above, earth beneath, or waters on the earth. That's number 2. Number 3 is don't take his name, which is his law, in vain. That's number 3. Don't take his law, which is his name, which is the representative of him, in vain. So when you take his law in vain, you're taking him in vain. Or he, the creator, the all of alls. And then keep the Sabbath day. That Sabbath day is a test for you. That's the test to see if you're going to do my law or not. That's just one compared to the rest. So those 4 pertains to the creator. Honor the creator with all thy heart, thy soul, and thy mind. And then honor your brother and your neighbor as you do yourself. That's thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not commit adultery with another man's woman. And a woman laying down that has a man laying down with another man. You know, thou shalt not covet, which is want other people's stuff. And everything that's in the laws that pertains to the law that the Creator said. Through the Levites and out of the 10. So people don't even get that. They don't even understand. That's why the Christians are lost. They go by those 2, what Jesus said. Is Jesus higher than the Creator? And we got people that have all kind of concepts about that. And that's a whole different story. Whole different story. Man, boy, The world has been deceived and they can't even see it. So, again, enter ye in at the straight gate. I'm going to tell you about this brother in a few minutes. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go thereat. Meaning, many of them gonna go in. This is Matthew 7, verse 13, now 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow, which is narrow, is the way which leadeth to life, and few there be that find it. It's gonna be a few people. Why? Because everybody else is going after the Roman Empire. And if you don't believe me, I'm just going to give you a quick point of view out of Revelation 13. A certain point stated right here. 13 and 4, what's that? Verse 4. 13 and 4 says, and they worship the dragon, which is Greek, the Greeks, and they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast, which is the Roman Empire. And they worship the beast, the Roman Empire, which is the system. They worship the beast, which is the system, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is like unto Rome? Who is able to make war with him? Now watch this. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy. That's your Christianity. Great things and blasphemy against the Creator. That's your New Testament in Christianity. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And I believe that, and I still think in my mind, those 42 months is when the Crusaders went around making the world accept Christianity the way it is. So, but it got to go. And then it says, verse 6, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yah, and blaspheme his name, his law. We ain't under the law no more, we under grace. We ain't under the law no more, we under grace. That's what they said. We ain't under the law no more, we under grace. Right? And what else they say? And his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven, those that dwell and doing the Creator's word and will. That's what he did. He was and he said, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yah, blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. 7 says, and it was given unto him to make war, right here. It was given unto the beast, Rome, to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Everybody. Right here, verse 8, check this out. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him whose names are not written in the book of life. Everybody on earth is going to worship Rome, follow Rome, do everything for Rome, whose names are not written in the book of life, of the Lamb, which is of the Spirit upon us, slain from the foundations of the world. The Lamb was slain. How was the Lamb slain? We are the Lamb. And we have been slain because we don't know our land, our language, our heritage, or our culture. We were slain as a people and we were dead as people. That's why in Ezekiel chapter 37, they talk about the valley of dry bones. We are the slain in the valley, not knowing who we are, our land, our language, or our culture. From the foundation of the world. Now let me jump over here to 14 and 15. I'm just giving you a point of the straight gate and the one, really, I'm giving you a point of the ones that many that be ones that follow thereat. From the straight, from the road of destruction. The road of destruction. And 14 says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, in the sight of the system of the people, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image. This is what the world is going after now. Hebrew Israelites, Christians, and everybody, not Hebrew Israelites mostly, but Hebrew Christians, I like to call them. The Christians and the Hebrew Christians, the ones who have not left Christianity. Meaning if they still believe someone died for their sins, they are still in idolatry. And I don't care who you are. If you believe a man came and died for your sins and for the sins of the world, you are in idolatry and you're going with the words of the beast. Because this is the image in verse 14 of the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, an image to the system, an image to Rome, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And that wound by the sword was Christianity. For 56 years, Christianity was being fought against. They were like the bishops and the Arians. They was fighting, going back and forth for 56 years until the Arians got pushed out. Some murdered, some poisoned, whatever happened, but they pushed them out. And then the bishops started, this is where the deadly wound was healed, which is Christianity. This is the blasphemy against the Creator. I'm telling you what I know, not what I believe. I'm telling you about history that's not in the Bible, but it's given to you right here. It's showing you right here. 15. And he had who? The system had power to give life unto the image. How many people believe in Jesus today who never existed? You know what I was thinking today, and maybe the last few days? How a person can make a story on TV. You know how they can make movies? We love to look. That's another image. That's another part of the world today. Everybody got TV and television. Everybody is mesmerized for all the movies that's being made, right? But you know how you can look at one movie and you can come back and make a part 2 and you can add something to it? Oh, okay, before this happened, this went on. To make this movie seem more real than what it is, or make like I say, a part 2. You know? Now, I don't know about The Matrix. The Matrix was a good movie, the first one. But then they made a part 2 and then a part 3. But not only The Matrix, what else was a movie that they did? So, Star Wars. Remember the regular Star Wars? Then they made a trilogy and all these other stuff before it, and how Darth Vader began. They make stuff to keep you captivated, but this is how they modify stories. See what I'm saying? You can make something up. It don't mean that it's real. Just like Jesus wasn't real. Jesus never existed. But it was a guy named Joshua, I do believe, a guy named Joshua came, but he didn't come the way that they wrote him in the book. He may have did some of the stories or some of the things that were said, and he might have said some of the things. But when you get to chapter 5 after 20 or 21, chapter 5 after 20, 21, it starts saying, you have heard of old time, but I say unto you. That's a blatant disrespect on the Creator's word and to the Creator in general. Blatant disrespect. But I say, the Creator never gave his praise of nobody to another man. The only one walked and gave his authority in the place of the Creator. All of them did, but who actually did it was Moses. Moses. But who did the Creator lay his promises of? He laid his promises on Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Abraham's seeds. Now, a lot of people just look at Israel. Don't forget, Abraham's seeds consist of Ishmael, consists of Esau, and consists of Jacob, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. So all 3 of these are still the seeds of Abraham, which people fail to realize. Everybody's mind is set steadfast on Israel. But you got to understand, they didn't have their time. But Israel is the promised child that's supposed to get everything according to prophecy and all the way to the end of time. But not just Israel, those who change and turn and come to Israel, or shall I say keep the law. Not come to Israel, but keep the law. That's your key. So, I'm going to start shortening these up. Because I know I be long, and a lot of people say, man, you long with it. I can be, but I got to start shortening things up. And that's my plan. I'm start shortening things up. But I just wanted to let people understand about the straight gate and about the road to destruction. And mainly, that's what I might talk. This might be about tonight, the road of destruction. The road of destruction or the straight gate. How do they want to, I'm talking about destruction right now because the way people are following the Roman Empire. That's the road of destruction. And I break this down and I share, matter of fact, that's what I'm saying, the road of destruction. That's what I'm calling this tonight. So I'm just going to go through Revelation 8. I just did some parts of it. I should go through 13 tonight. Just do portions and parts. No, I think I'm going to go through, because I told a good brother I can break down 13 and break it all down and, and show you the facts in it. But other than that, right now, we'll be about 30-something minutes in, so I might make this short tonight. I might start doing most things short unless I'm doing chapters. So I might just start doing that. So, because there's a lot to be said, but who knows if everybody's going to listen. So the shorter it is, maybe more people will catch on. So other than that, I like to say at this moment in time that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. So I got told, I said I got to finish this story. I said I'm going to tell you about this brother. And we had a conversation. So I did say that. It just hit me. So before we ended, let me go ahead and finish that up. So the brother, we started off, I walked down, they brought him and lady, they brought some teeth. He was doing hair on his sister. And he was asking me about, and I'm just being straight up now, people can take it how I stand for truth and facts and the Creator's word. If a person feel offended because I tell the truth and the facts, I can't help you because of the way you feel. My job is to give the truth and the facts of the Creator's word, because I told him if he brought me to the truth, I'll put it in songs and writing and give it to the world. It's up to the world to accept it or reject it. I don't dislike nobody, because I know there's a lot of people that probably help me, whatever, and I'll do the same. But the whole thing is, you are you, I'm me, but I don't, just because you are who we are, I don't treat you no different than you treat me. That's the golden rule, right? So, but when you're doing wrong, that's a different story. When you're doing wrong, that's going to be upon you. But if you're doing something wrong to me, then we got a problem. So, now I just get on with this story. This brother came down and, they bought some teas from me. Then he asked me, he said, well, what do you think about Trump? He's going into these cities, and he already did it with Washington, D.C., but he's talking about going into Chicago, bringing the military into Chicago or the armed forces in Chicago to clean up Chicago. And I said, well, prophecy is, all I can see is prophecy happening. Prophecy, what you mean prophecy? I said, well, prophecy has to be fulfilled. And actually, whether people believe it or not, he's carrying out prophecy, whether they see it, believe it, or understand it or not. How you say that? I said, well, in the scriptures, it says that the law has to be returned back to the earth. The law has to be returned back to the earth. That means the Creator's law has to be back established. And he said, well, what you mean by prophecy and this and that? I said, well, it's prophesied that about the law happening and turning back. He said, prophecy is it's kind of late for that because we came to see what's going on. I said, it's because people don't study. I said, the book is right there. It tells you what's going on. It talks about about everybody that's getting shipped back to their land, ICE and stuff like that. People are going to go back to their own land. It talks about that in the scriptures. People are going to go back to their own land. Right? It didn't say how it was going to happen. It just said it was going to happen. People getting kicked. I didn't say kicked, but the ICE that's doing their thing, sending people back to their own land, that's happening. Also, I say he's bringing back the Constitution. But it was something before that. He was talking, before that. I said, about him bringing the armies or the force back into the city, I said the earth got to be cleaned up. And that's what we're going to go into part 2, Matthew 25. The sheep and the goat. Yeah, that we're gonna hit. We're gonna hit that in part 2. I just gave you some out of Revelation 13, so that should be suffice for the moment. But I'm going into Matthew chapter 13, the last parts of it, which is talking about the sheep and the goat. That's what we're going to do, talking about the separation that's going on today. So I was telling about it has to be cleaned up. The earth has to be cleansed. I said right now, this is hell. We living in hell right now. I said, everybody doing what they want to do. The children are out of control. The parents, people, everything is out of control. Trump is actually putting things back in order, slowly but surely. He's putting things in order. And what I want to share with everybody who's listening, you got to understand, there's only right and wrong. Myself, I don't even look at color. I don't look at color, excuse me, because I look at the origin of a person, not color. And it's a difference. Everybody talk about the white man, black man. There's no black and no white man unless you're of a status. Actually, the melanated man is actually white by status. The Caucasian man is actually black by status. A lot of people don't understand that. But this is where you go into your research and your study and your history and understand more information. But not only that, on that point and that tip, he's sending them troops in and to clean the cities up. The cities and everything has all these robbers, murderers, all this stuff that's going against the law. It has to be cleansed up. It got to be cleansed. The murderers and killers and all these people that are doing things against the Creator's law, this land got to be cleaned up. Even those who call themselves being, prejudice or prejudice or racist or whatever, they're gonna be cleaned up. Everything has its time, but you just got to sit back and watch. Like me, I'm a watchman. I can give you what scripture saying according to what's going to happen, but I'm sitting back watching what's happening, watching what's going on. This system is corrupt. This system is satanic. It's the satanic system. It's the Roman Empire. We in the second part of Rome. First Rome was Revelation 13, 1 through 10. Second Rome, New Rome, which is the New World Order, is from Revelation 13, 11 through 18. The New World Order. So y'all been living the New World Order. And y'all don't even know it or see it. Living in it and a part of it. Not realizing it. But hey. So that was just some of the conversation. And then, we got on to, he was talking about, I said, man, I was telling about the Constitution. I've been told him about that. They took your right to bear arms away. Right? That's the Second Amendment. Right to bear arms. You know what I'm saying? Your right to have a weapon, gun, whatever you want to call it. That's your right. Not your permission permission or license. You have a right to bear arms. But Trump brings certain things back. The people can't even see what he's doing because they're too busy following the road to hell. That's another good one, call it. Instead of road to destruction, the road to hell. This is hell you're living in right now. Long as this country stay upropt and stuff like it is, it's hell. And if Kamala would have gotten in office, it'd have been double time worse. But the people don't know because they can't see. Why y'all think he won by a landslide? Y'all got to see spiritual compared to the stuff that's going on. So that was just a lot of conversation me and the brother had. And matter of fact, another thing I want to bring out is the reason why I had the conversation, or not reason, in the conversation. He said, man, but Trump this and Trump is bad. Tell me Trump is bad. I said, bruh, this whole system is bad. I got to tell you this part here. I'm glad I'm talking about this at this moment. I said, bro, this whole system is bad. He said, yeah, but tell me, Trump is bad. Trump. I said, bro, you keep talking about Trump, 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 Trump. I ain't hear you say nothing about Obama. He's the one who actually brought in gay marriages, same-sex marriage. You ain't said nothing about that. Oh, it wasn't his fault. It was because the Senate. The Senate had. I said, bro, it takes both of them to do it. He had to sign off on it. Yeah, but the Senate. See, now he want to pick blame. He want to say, oh, Obama had nothing to do with that. I'm just a watchman. Why didn't I said, well, why didn't all the other presidents do it? Why didn't they bring in the same-sex marriage? Just talking, right? No facts to what he's saying. All he want to do is point Trump. Trump, Trump, Trump. I said, bro, if Trump is bad at what he's doing, whatever, I haven't been following him lately like that. But whatever he's doing, if he's doing, that's what he do. My main thing is I'm seeing the difference between what I know that he's changing compared to the stuff that's been going on for 50 to 70 years. All this stuff nobody's talking about. Trump is one man at this point doing certain things, and a lot of people got a problem with Trump. Why? Because of the media. Because they're on that road to hell. And like I said, I don't know if Trump is all good or not. He said, well, just say Trump is bad then. I said, they're all bad. No, say Trump is bad. I said, you have that Trump delusional syndrome, don't you? I said, Father, I'm not even a part of that. I said, let me ask you something. What has Trump did to you? What is Trump doing right now that's affected your life today compared to as long as you've been doing what you've been doing? What is he doing that's affecting you right now? He couldn't say nothing about that. I said, what is Trump doing right now that's affecting you? Right now, tell me what he's doing right now that's affecting your life, that has changed something tremendously in your life today. What did he do to do that? He couldn't say nothing. Well, I said, bro, that's for them. Whoever they are, they have the problem. Why are you putting yourself in their shoes? That's on them. I said, bro, we still live like we live every day. He ain't did nothing to me, for me, or did nothing to change my life. My life is still going on the way it's been going on. He ain't did nothing to affect my life. Now, what has he done to affect you? That was my question. What did Trump do to affect your life in this day and time? Really, he was trying to avoid the question, and all he kept trying to do is find fault with him. I said, bro, if you find fault with him, that's on you. I said, far as I'm concerned, them the Caucasians' problem. That's the Caucasians' way. He ain't did nothing to affect me. I said, and even though I'm sorry now, still, he ain't did nothing to affect me. I'm still living my life day by day the way I've been doing every day. But you jumped into some shoes that's not even fit for you. You ain't even got nothing to do with that. You ain't got nothing to do with their business, their lifestyle, and their way of life. You're living your own life. But when I hit him with that one, you know what? You could see but yet still, why are you arguing about something that doesn't even concern you? Then they said we're talking about the game, talking about the football game stuff. I said, bro, that's Roman Empire. That's the Roman games. Talking about football and baseball and all that. I said the Romans games, bro. I said all they did is change from the gladiators out there killing and bloody and killing animals and killing each other to making money behind it. Now they got they got two teams of men, and they got helmets with mascots of the animals and beasts. You got the Detroit Lions, the Chicago Bears, the Cincinnati Bengals. You got the Colts. You got all these different names, but they have the symbol of an animal. They just changed it from bloody and stuff like that, which was still games, and they're making money off of it now. And all the people that's on the teams was on the auction block. They've been auctioned, just like they do when they do the draft. They auction you off, and they're putting you up there, and they making their bid for the highest making their highest bid for the best player that they want for their team. So they can give them some money, but they can make money. Y'all can't see this? People's eyes are blind and they're closed. So other than that, now it's a whole lot more we had a conversation about. Me and this brother had a long conversation, but I was just planting nuggets for him to open his eyes. What are you bickering about? You should be trying to do something better with your life, trying to think of something better to do instead of thinking about something that this so-called government that y'all call yourself a part of. You should be trying to become sovereign and get out of that government and become separated from it. Become sovereign, which is free, because you're still a slave, whether you know it or not. You got a birth certificate, Social Security card at birth. You're a slave until you get into your private office, which is your executive seat. Y'all gonna keep hearing that. A lot of people are beginning to understand what the executive office or the executive seat is. Once you understand what that is, that only pertains to you. Now, other than that, I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. And we're going to make it, this is less than an hour if you want right now. So, but I like to share with everybody. But first what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause Zoom because I forgot to pause them before. Make sure I get this pause in, and we're going to go on with the full version with you in a few moments, Zoom. My brother G1, glad you're still there. We're going to pause you, and then we'll be right back with part 2. So we're going to pause you and thank you.
Recording stopped.
All right. And for everybody else, if you like, don't forget, you can always connect with me. You can always call or text me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. Or you can always email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. All right? You can always like, subscribe, and share on YouTube, and you can also connect with me on X, formerly known as Twitter, which I like to say is X Twitter. And like I said, YouTube, you can like, subscribe, and share with me at JuicePro33. That's JuicePro33. JuicePro33. You can like, subscribe, and share, and you can also connect with me on TikTok and Instagram. My TikTok and my Instagram is at or just L'chaim_the_juice, which is LKHYYM@gmail.com. LKHYYM_THEJUICE. That's LKHYYM_THEJUICE. That's L'chaim_the_juice. Also, you can catch me on TikTok. Again, it's my other TikTok, which is Michael the Juice Harris, which is MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. That's MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. And also, that's my other TikTok. And also my Facebook is Mikael Harris, which is MI_CHAEL space HARRIS. That's MI_CHAEL space HARRIS. Also, you can catch me with the full version on YouTube and X Twitter. On YouTube, under video. Yes, under video on YouTube. My part 1 and part 2 is under live on YouTube. That's my part 1 and part 2. But my full version is under video. on Juice Pro 33, JUICE PRO 33. And also we're on, my full version is on rumble.com/LKHYYM. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM. Also on patreon.com/LKHYYM. That's patreon.com/LKHYYM. We'll be right back. This is the end of part 1. And don't forget, the road, I don't know if it's road to destruction or road of destruction, I believe. That's what I think I spoke on. And I said, the road of destruction. The road of destruction. I think I'll call it that. The road of destruction. This is where a lot of people is on today. Not even realizing it. But next, I'm going to go into Matthew 25, the end of 25 that's coming up in part 2. So other than that, Instagram. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Love you, appreciate love you, and always be back in the moment, and always peace. That's my Instagram. That's Instagram. And Facebook. Facebook, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Be right back. Peace. And over here on YouTube Live. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening here, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you, and always. Peace.